ready to start prepping our beans on toast. We did get an original Heinz Beanz in this nice turquoise can. And we're using some of the bread we found at our British import store. So we actually have some British bread, that Robert's bread. And so I'll toast that up, get this going, and we're gonna have cheese on the top too. We have a vintage Irish cheddar cheese, 2 years age, that we're gonna put on top. And let's see, let's get going. Let me put this in our toaster oven. We do have a toaster, but it's kind of a pain to get out of our cupboard, so we're gonna go to the toaster oven. See, I've got Finn, my kitchen helper. This is going to make us a very nice little lunch. And we actually tried beans on toast, I think our very first Brit video, wasn't it, Ross?
Yes.
That was our very first British food, and we tried, it was the curry beans, Heinz curry beans. So right. We liked it, but we wanted to try something more traditional. We got a lot of advice from our commenters. So we're gonna give just the more traditional beans on toast a try, but we did like the suggestion for putting cheese on top, so we're gonna have that as well. Yeah. All right, so one toast looks like it's about ready. The other looks like it needs a little bit of time. In fact, that one's getting a little bit done on the edge. Put a little bit of butter on. And I think our beans are just about done. It's bubbling over there. Actually, I'll give you this one because I know you like yours a little bit more toasty than I like mine.
I do.
All right, so we're doing the butter on first. Then we're gonna pile some beans on here. Oops, already getting sloppy. Not sure how many we should put on.
I think it's fine.
What do you think? That
looks
look good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. Sorry, I was a little sloppy and spilling stuff there.
Looks great.
One more little spoon. There we go. Have a little bit left over, and then our final touch. Ooh, I grated a lot of cheese. Hope you want it cheesy.
And what kind of cheese?
This is vintage cheddar. Vintage Irish cheddar. So while it's not a British cheddar, it's not American cheese. It's not Kraft. All right.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're ready to give these a try. So you ready to dig in?
I am.
All right, let's give it a try. That just makes a really nice, tasty snack. I mean, actually, we're having it for a lunch, a light lunch. Mm-hmm. That's really good, and I love it with the cheddar cheese on it.
We have the cheese complements it nicely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how do you like to have your beans on toast? Do you like to have it just original beans with nothing on it? Do you have other things you like to put on it? Different types of cheese? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I went a little too crazy on it. I don't know. I guess I didn't go crazy with the cheese. There's never too much cheese, right?
I don't think you can go crazy with the cheese. I'm kind of curious, like, you put meat on it. You ever put like maybe, I don't know, ground bacon, any kind of meat at all.
That sounds good too.
So the first time we tried this, it was with Heinz curry beans, and then we had the Heinz 5 beans. So of the three, which one do you like best?
I think I do like this traditional beans. I mean, the curry beans were good, but I think for beans on toast, I do prefer these traditional beans. I noticed the toast sounds a little crunchy. Is it supposed to be like that? Or is it supposed to be more softened? Maybe we didn't use enough beans, or I toasted the toast too much, not sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's personal preference. You know how some people like things more mushy and some like it more crunchy?
The bread, the very first time we tried it, we had curry beans on sourdough. And we had this real British bread. Do you have a preference? For beans on toast, do you prefer the sourdough or do you prefer the English bread that we're having right now?
I think this works well, just a plain white for the beans on toast. I mean, I do love sourdough on almost everything.
Yes.
And I think it turned out well. I liked it on the sourdough, but this does work well. I think it's a little softer than the sourdough.
Agreed.
And a few other beans that we found at Cost Plus World Market. We have this 5 beans, and then we picked up by accident, actually, the no added sugar. It looked just like the regular turquoise can. So I don't know how these are. Have you tried either of these, and do you prefer these over the regular beans? Let us know in the comments. And also, before anybody comments on it, if you're here to watch and see how the Americans use their cutlery, you may notice that Ross and I use it a little bit differently. When I cut, I tend to just keep the fork in my left hand, but honestly, that is not very American. More Americans do it like Ross, where they do the swapping back and forth. It's actually considered good dining etiquette here in the States. So that's why you see so many Americans doing the swapping back and forth. That's often how you learn that is the proper way to eat.
You know, I honestly never paid that close attention to it. Honestly, I haven't. I know that we had comments about, I find the way you use cutlery amusing, or I'm intrigued on how you're holding your cutlery. And it's like, really?
I never paid attention either, but I'm sure it does look really different for people who are not used to eating that way. And I actually do swap sometimes too if I'm really trying to slow myself down. And I even looked it up because I thought, this is not very American to be so impractical and inefficient. So we must have learned this somewhere, and I forgot the year, if it was in the 1700s maybe. Apparently this came over from the French, like 1700s, when the Americans were just all in awe of everything French and how the French did things. And apparently back at that time, that was how they were eating. Now, granted, I read this online, so I could take it with a grain of salt, but I thought there must be something behind it. There's no reason to be this inefficient with eating. And so they just picked that up as, they want to be, like the French. And, it seemed like good, proper table manners. And then apparently the French just did away with that a long time ago and no longer eat that way, but it's stuck here. So for a lot of things that I have seen that sometimes people make fun of Americans, it actually originates sometimes in Europe, and it's just something that happened a long time ago, got brought over here, and then we never changed it. So anyway, that's just our little explanation of why we eat the way we do, because I see a lot of people comment on other Americans and how they use their cutlery.
And honestly, I can think of other things really complain about than how a couple Americans in a video hold their fork. And how much they cut up of what's on their plate. And, you're only.
I guess it makes good entertainment.
I guess so. To each his own.
To each his own, yeah. So any final thoughts on beans on toast?
Enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it seems like the videos we do, one of my catchphrases is I say often, I wish I tried this sooner. Just growing up, and even as say like an adult, I never really put beans over toast. I think it's an army thing, military thing.
Oh, really?
Not so much beans on toast, but was it the creamed chipped beef on toast? I'm not going to use the obscenity.
Yeah.
Don't
say it.
S word over the shingles. Just fine because we went shopping today, and I could have sworn I saw a can of like chipped beef, and that reminds me of that military over shingle. But no, we just never, growing up, I never ate it. My parents never said, hey, you want a quick snack? I can give you some beans over toast. No, it's just something that we didn't have in our house growing up.
It's just not an American thing, I don't think. I don't know anybody that does beans over toast, but I'd always heard that this was done over in the UK. So it was one of those things, thought we just have to try it. And we did try it in that very first Trying British Food video. And we thought we have to give this another try. We have to revisit it with the original beans and cheese. I really like that addition of the cheese. Oh, yeah. You know me. If you've watched any of our videos, you know how much I love cheese, and cheese always makes everything better.
It does. You're clearly more of a cheese lover than I am.
But it's a good addition, huh?
Yeah, it's a good addition.
Nice flavor.
Yeah, no complaints at all.
So if you like food reactions and food tastings, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.